Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this Friday morning. Thank you, Ronnie. Straight in with the super chat this morning. Thank you very much for that, mate. I will get to that in a minute. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to say thank you first of all. Before we get started this morning, thank you to everyone that subscribed yesterday, and I mean that. I am trying to get to 28,000 before the window closes, and can we get to 28,000 before Celtic sign a player? That would be fantastic. But as of this morning, we are sitting on 27,662. Fantastic. We're on the way. We're on our way to 28k. Can we do it before the end of the transfer window? I'll crease myself live on air. I'll probably, I might like shed a tear with happiness and stuff like that. But honestly, it'd be fantastic if we can do it. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. Thank you to everyone who watches the channel. I deeply mean that. Deeply mean it. Yeah, it's probably not. I've not had coffee this morning. Excuse me. Anyway, let's get to the Celtic news because where should we start this morning? Four players. It's been suggested that we need at least four more players to come into the club. When you look at it, we still need a replacement for a player that left in the last transfer window that was on loan at Celtic. We still haven't got a real good player to play backup to Kieran Tierney. That's the big issue. Kieran Tierney's out there on his own, and do we have enough? Do we have backup at all? Is Adam Montgomery sufficient? I don't think so. I think that we do need a player in. We need a goalkeeper. There's moves in the transfer market. Celtic are making moves to try and get a goalkeeper in. Sinisalo is going to be the number 2 goalkeeper. Or does it mean that we've got 2 decent goalkeepers and they'll be pushing each other to see who Sinisalo's got the jumper, hasn't he? So anyone that comes in really needs to be good and really needs to push Sinisalo, which I think could be absolutely fantastic. I'm not shaved again today. Huh? Rough as anything. Anyway, when we look at it, we also need a couple of midfielders. Arne Engels will leave the club. Rio Hatate will leave the club. Now, the deal for Brouwer coming into Celtic, it looks as if that is going to happen. And a player from Torino that Celtic are looking at, he missed training. He looks like he's going to be the direct replacement for Arne Engels. Does that make the squad better? Or is it just making the squad... I mean, does it make the midfield player area better? Or is it just a case of we're just replacing like for like? Hoopsaholic straight in this morning. Sin is an accident waiting to happen. Baz surprised on the time with being on the mosquitoes yesterday. The mosquitoes? I'm looking through some of the comments. Apologise. I want to get up Ronnie's super chat. Right? No, Fozzie, don't even think about it. Try to climb up my leg with shorts on. You're little. Thank you, Ronnie, for the super chat this morning. Right? Let's get back into it because the comments are going crazy this morning with all sorts of palaver. Did you see? If you haven't been on the Facebook page, go into the Hoops, the One Celtic Fans View Facebook page. There's a funny picture of Martin O'Neill that got sent this morning sitting in his hospital bed laughing at the TV score last night, but he shouldn't be laughing. Chris Sutton says that Martin O'Neill should take a step back from football if he has been in and had a little heart murmur and he's had a stent put in. What do you think of that? Johnny Kenny is a player that is surplus to requirements now. As far as I'm concerned, I think Johnny Kenny is surplus to requirements when you look at the squad and the players that Celtic have. And I've got the squad on. Yeah, when you look at the full squad as it stands, Sinisalo, Johnson, Scales, Trusty, Jota, Benji Negrin, Casper, Balak Wisher. What's going to happen to Balak Wisher this season? He's not going to make the bench. So should we be cashing in? Well, should we make a loss? Camilo Duran, Yang, who for me is not a number 1 winger. I think that we need to bring in at least 2 wingers. I think that 4 players we need to bring in is a goalkeeper, someone to replace Kieran Tierney, a midfielder, and another winger. That's the minimum of 4 players that Celtic still need to get in with under 1 month to go in the transfer market. When you look at the likes of Adam Montgomery, he's made the step up, number 37 on the team. Young McArdle's in the squad, Dohan's in the squad. Paulo Bernardo, he's now out the squad because he's left on loan. So that opens up a space for someone in midfield. Not really, because Paulo Bernardo couldn't get a game in the first place, because Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain has come back to the club this year, and even he can't get a game. I'm surprised that someone of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's ability came to Celtic to sit on the bench for a season, because he could get, well, he obviously never had any teams come in for him, did he? Let's be realistic about it. And then you've got McCown, Tenecti. They're players that are, yeah, they're okay, but they wouldn't get in. And do you know the way they have to look at it? How many of these players would get into Brendan Rodgers' team in the invincible season? That's the question that you need to ask when we're talking about players. Would these players displace any of the players that were in Brendan Rodgers' all-conquering team that season? I don't think so. I don't think that the likes of Balak Wisher's nowhere near it. Yang's nowhere near it. McCown's nowhere near it. Tenecti's nowhere near it. It's hard, isn't it? After watching the Hearts and the Huns, we'll be okay. We might be okay, but will we be okay in Europe? I'm not even going to get cocky about us going into European football, because we need to get players in. It's okay saying we'll be okay winning the league. Yeah, I think that we'll walk the league this year. But let's not get... I mean, it was good fun last night, and it was good fun watching them getting pumped and them... struggling in Europe, but we are 2 weeks away, and there hasn't been significant change to the playing squad to enhance the squad to make sure that we get through in the next game. So we just need to watch out for that one. Anyway, DJ Kev, I've never even seen that one coming up. Hopefully, not only the winger, we bring in left back, goalkeeper, get rid of players who don't want to be here. The thing is, if you get rid of players from that squad, Kev, you need to bring other players in, because it then makes the squad... It makes the squad weaker. Do you know? And it's okay saying that we've got all those players, but you're going to be... You're firing on all fronts. You're going to be firing in the Champions League. You want to have the strongest possible squad ready for that. We don't have a replacement for Alistair Johnson. Let's hope that Alistair Johnson one doesn't happen. Papering over the cracks yet again. Few late panic signings won't fix the lack of squad depth. I'll just get rid of that picture there. Or the board's terrible communications with the fan. Well said, Gio. Well said this morning on that one. I think you got that spot on. Is how the majority of Celtic fans are feeling. Yeah, I definitely think that that's the way that the majority of fans are feeling. If Martin O'Neill has had heart issues, we should retire him, pay his salary up, and move on. This was my fear. Martin O'Neill was too old. Rumours of the heart issue for part tiredness on Euro away trips. Yeah, let's not go into speculation, because what I will do is, I don't usually come back on a Friday. Usually my Friday is my day off, because it's the missus' day off, but she's on holiday this week, so we've had a week off. And what I will do, once the interviews, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the media conferences today. You never know. Martin O'Neill might turn up at the media conference and go, fucking got yous all, haven't yous? But let's just see. Let's not add to the speculation. Let's just wait and see until the press conferences this afternoon, see what player gets pushed out. I think you won't see Callum McGregor at the press conference this afternoon. He always goes into hidings when there's really awkward awkward days. We had injury after injury last season every time we played in Europe. One limps off. You don't, says DJ Kev, you don't want a team with players that are not quality or will not get a game. Just fill the squad. Rather have a smaller squad with players that are quality and can add something, yet don't add as they don't. Kev, you can't just, it's not, the team plays around about 50, 60 games a season now. We need a bigger squad. You need to rotate big teams. I was talking to I was talking to a mate who's Dutch and who stays just up the road from me, and he was a football coach back in Holland, and he's fitness coach for football teams and everything back in Holland when he was younger, and he's just coming up for retirement age. He's 4 or 5 years away from retirement age, and he supports a team in Holland that are going through a lot of changes right now as well. And even he says that you need a big, and what teams do in Holland, a lot of teams like your Ajax, your PSV, they don't worry about cup games. They put on the youngsters for the cup games. They don't necessarily push. And it may be that in Scotland you would get the mainstream media going, oh, Celtic are demeaning the cup because all they're doing is putting out youth. That's the way that it should be at a club like Celtic. You should be putting on the younger players in the cup games. And I know it's all important that we all want to win trebles, etc., etc., etc. And it's been fantastic. But maybe that's been the thing that is holding us back. As James says, that the world-class club, world-class letdown. When you hear from people that come from other countries about the fact that teams don't really worry about the cups, and he said the reason was because they believe that Europe is the bigger picture. They believe that having a good run in European football is better than winning a cup on the domestic scene. Now, whilst it's great Celtic winning doubles and winning trebles, here's my question to you. Would you forgo, or not forgo the cup, would you expect, would you complain if a manager said, nope, I'm not going to play the first team. I'm going to play pretty much the B team in the cup games. And if they get beaten, we get put out of the cup, it's fine. Because we want to concentrate on European football and the Champions League. Because that's what's bringing you in the big money. That's what helps you compete at the higher level. That's what helps you bring in players. Signing a player and saying, oh, by the way, you're going to be playing in the cup and you're going to be playing at Auchinleck Talbot. It's not a big puller, is it? It's not. It's like, yes, I'm getting to go to Auchinleck Talbot. Oh, you're a dancer, man. Where's Auchinleck Talbot? Got on my hand off the table. No disrespect to Auchinleck Talbot, but I just think that's where we're from. Anyway, when it comes to midfield, Celtic are still in with a bid. The Mika Bauer thing is still going on. Torino midfielder. That's not going to happen until Arne Engels is sold. Do a poll, Rab. I'll do a poll this afternoon. Domestic trophies is priority. That's an interesting one. Have we got time to do a poll? Yeah, 1:45. How many's on? Yeah, let me do a poll just now then. Start a poll. Main Young. What's the noise? Who the fuck? The racket, man. Can you not hear that? Like he's fucking sitting on the fucking terrace. He's got a megaphone. Anyway. What's... He's fucking advertising a... Jesus. Anyway. Where is he exactly? Oh! Fucking shut up. Right, get back to it. I've got a guy fucking blaring fucking advertising outside the house. Anyway, it's always great on this channel, isn't it? Right, should we use the squad for cup games and only the main squad for the Champions League? So we get the main players for the Champions League and the League, and the young team for the Scottish Cup, the Scottish and the League Cups. That is the poll. 2 answers. That's it. Just no. I don't. Why is it not adding? It's not adding the poll. Why is it not adding the poll? Start the poll. Or right, the poll's not starting. The poll's not working this morning. Everything's went to pot. Everything's went to complete pot this morning. Jesus. Anyway, let me try that one more time. Start the poll. Oh, no, I'll do it later on. That guy's just turned my head in. Anyway, and I've totally lost the plot now because this guy was advertising a coffee shop outside the house in the van. You remember back in the 80s when they would drive around with the vans and be like, vote Labour, yes, it's voting today, we're voting this week, you need to vote Labour, everybody. That's what they still do here in Spain. It's bonkers. You're like, mate, it's 2026. There's a thing called social media. You didn't need to be driving about with your... Sorry, we're losing the plot this morning. Oh, God, I love this place. It's slightly... Yeah, I've got everything turned down so you can't really pick up back noise, but it's gone now. Anyway, right. Tell me in the comment section, should we play the main team in the Champions League only and the league? And then use the other players within the squad, the younger players in the squad with should we use the younger players in the squad for the Scottish Cup and the Cup? I would say the Premier Sports Cup is a chance to bleed in the younger players. Your Adam Montgomerys, your Hattons, your Montgomery, your McAdams, Dohan, but Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain just to give him some experience. Some game time. And your Donovans, should they be the type of players that you need more training for this job? Tell me about it, Peter. Should those players take precedent in the League Cup rather than the main players? And should we keep, like they do in Holland, should we keep the main first team squad, the players that are the starting 11 on most your first team picks? Are those the ones that should just play the Champions League and the league, and then rotate other players for the cup games? Tell me your thoughts. Tell Tell me your thoughts. And yes, Forrest. Forrest, he's a main player. Scottish Cup should be the main team too. Yeah, I'm talking about the League Cup. I changed it to the League Cup. Yes, League Cup, but not so much the Scottish Cup. I think the Scottish Cup's the last game of the season. You want to win the Scottish Cup. But when I'm talking about the League Cup, should we just put in the younger team, Sinisalos, not in goals, put Ross Dohan in goals and say, right, yous go win the cup. If you get to the final, I guarantee, you sit with the players down and you say to the players, you say, look, right, this is what we're going to do this season. When it comes to the cup, you guys, you know that you're not first team picks. Unless you really work your arse off and you get really motivated and you start going, whoa, I need to be playing now. We're going to play you guys in the cup. The younger guys, you know this. You've come through for the B team. You know that you're not going to get a crack at first team football a lot this season. So we're going to play you in the cup and then that's your run. You get those guys highly motivated for the game that is coming up in just, it's coming up in about a week's time, isn't it? When you look at the fixtures, we have Kilmarnock this weekend. We then have Dundee United in the Premier Sports Cup. So in 2 weeks' time, the players that aren't getting games just now, you motivate them highly. They know that other players are going to come in, squad players are going to come in that are better than them, that are going to demand first team, not demand, but they're going to be expected to fill first team slots. So all the players that are coming in that are stepping up, you say to them, right, that Dundee United game, that's the big one. Dundee United away. You're going to get your big chance. You're going to show us that you deserve a first team start in the league by going out and demolishing Dundee United. And here he comes back again. He's turned around up the top of the hill and he's coming back down again. He's driving dead slow, honestly. What the hell? Would you guys take back Kobayashi? Not a chance. No problem, not. Back the cups, the league, and Europe, and just doing them. Would we start like with Osmond, Balakwisha, Donovan in the cups? That's a nice one. Osmond should be your number one striker in the cups. He should be given. He should know at the start of the season, right? Premier Sports Cup and Champion and not the Champions League. This guy's coming back again. I mean, I'm going to go and throw a brick through his window. Anyway, would you take Kobayashi back? Hell no. Why would you want to take Kobayashi back? Because you know it's some other team in Scotland. It's all about the trophy count. We shouldn't think we're above the League Cup. I want us to surpass the Huns League Cup total. Is that what's holding Celtic back? Seriously, with the emphasis on having to win everything. You know, remember, we don't have the right to win everything. But anyway, League Cup is already early season. It's a good chance to blood young players. Some might push for a regular team start in the second half of the season. Yes, and that's the thinking. That's why I'm thinking about it. Yeah, but anyway, right. How long have we been on? Too long, some people say. Young players wouldn't beat Dundee United. They're a decent team. Well, if they're not going to beat Dundee United, why should they be in? You have to give them the opportunity. Okay, so you don't blood a full team of the younger players. You sprinkle it with some of the older players, some of the experienced players, and say 3 or 4. Surely 3 or 4 younger players should be in the starting 11. So going by Tom the Czech's interview yesterday, he's still with us. Said he's 5th choice striker, no one wants him. What? Crazy. Anyway, right, that's me done and dusted for this morning. The big news is I'm going to come back on live this afternoon once Celtic have done the press conferences, because I think that there's going to be a lot of questions asked at the press conferences this afternoon. Celtic closing in a deal for the World Cup star Hassan. The fee is in the region of around about £9 million. Celtic are also looking at a midfielder from Torino, and he will be the direct replacement for Arne Engels. So that should bring up, that's probably another 10 million. So that would take up 20 million of the transfer budget. I still think that we need a goalkeeper. Celtic are in talks to try and sign a goalkeeper for anywhere between £4 and £7 million, depending on the report you read. And then we still need someone to come in and play the position that Kieran Tierney plays, because I don't think that Kieran Tierney will see out the whole of the season. And as good as Adam Montgomery is the type of player that should maybe be playing in the cup games. Until then, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world. And yes, I'm going to go and have my morning coffee. So thank you. And thank you to, who was it? There was somebody done a super chat. And thank you to all the new subscribers. Where is it? We are on 27,664. As we try to get to 28,000 before Michael Nicholson picks up his phone at the end of the transfer window and goes, oh, it's all too late. Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are.